guys, it's your favorite blue lipstick kitty here and lavender hair pink kitty Spala. I am sick as crap. I threw up like 7 times a day. And then anyway, that was something I decided, well, I'm dizzy, you know what I'm gonna do? Fake nails and fake eyelashes and my makeup, and it's all screwed up because I was seeing worse. I was seeing worse than a blind man in the sun. Any long-term wildlings will remember the basement from when I was in that awkward stage between being a drawing YouTuber and being a gaming YouTuber, where I was a vlogging YouTuber. Welcome back if you have stayed around this long. Well, I have to stay around this long because I am a crap person. But before I get into the actual story, I have to give you some exposition. First, it happened when I was a teenager, so we gotta go through my babyhood and my childhood and my preteenhood. So, long story short for the exposition, I had a crappy childhood, and bad things happened to me. Some of them were out of my control, and some of them, if I had spoken up sooner, they wouldn't have happened for quite as long. They probably could have stopped after the first encounter. I am not a role model by any standards. Do not look up to me. Don't try to mimic or copy me. Don't even try to dress like me. Because I get bullied to this very day. Because I don't do conventional anything. My fingers are green. My hair is lavender. I'm wearing blue lipstick. And I have two triangles on top of my headband, which apparently means people need to stare, because 2 triangles. Oh my gosh, 2 triangles! 2 triangles! Oh my gosh! Everybody stare! Stare! I'm screaming at nobody. But I am not somebody to do anything, actually. So I had a rocky childhood. Now, I'm not saying I had the worst childhood, because I do know there are people out there who had the things that are far, far darker than my experiences. There are a lot of people who have it better than me, too. I'm not saying I am the best or I am the worst. I'm just saying I had these experiences and they affected me very negatively. So, I was a very violent child after the age of 5, because of what happened to me the first 5 years of my life, which, if anyone actually wants to know, you can watch my kidnapped video. I also briefly mentioned it in my autism diagnosis story, which is might be getting privatized, because that was before I knew how to edit. This video is going to be largely unedited. I'm just going to put my intro and my outro on it, and maybe some jazz music. Some slow jazz, and I didn't listen to this already. This is the soundtrack of my life. My nails haven't been this long since I was in high school. But I was a very violent child. I took all of the anger and loathing that had been inflicted on me during my childhood, my earlier childhood, out onto other people. I was so stupid as a kid. Keep in mind, I am autistic. But, I thought this dude was trying to steal our window, so I beat the crap out of him. I nearly pushed him out of the window hole. He was just replacing them. But, when I was a teenager, I kind of started getting my crap together. It's like, I can't beat the crap out of everybody around me. So, I redirected that rage back to myself, because I started feeling guilty about how poorly I was treating everybody around me. It's like, treat others how you want to be treated. If I want people to respect me, I have to respect them. If I want people to show me kindness and use manners, I have to do that to them. It doesn't always work out that way, because sometimes I can be as polite as I possibly can, and people just want to scream scream profanity at me. It's like, let's have an adult conversation, please. I know this is overly minute, but please, don't swear at me. But, so, the self-loathing and everything just boiled up inside of me. Because I'm not even allowed to cry. My dad will tell me I don't look human, so I can't even cry. So, that just bottled up inside of me. And it came to a head my junior year of senior high school. My birthday's on the 11th, and this happened basically 4 days before. So the 7th of November. Basically, I told 2 of my friends during lunch something because it was a massive weight on my shoulder. And I felt like they deserved to know because it was going to be something that I couldn't undo. I slipped them a note during lunch saying I'm going to spend the entire weekend trying to kill myself. Lunch ended, I went back to chemistry, and I did feel better because they had that weight off me, but I am very impatient, so I went to the bathroom, I locked the stall, as you always do, and because my nails were basically knives, I didn't even need to break apart a pencil sharpener like I had done beforehand when I had shorter nails. I took my nails and I just dug into my skin. I just dug in there and I was bleeding all over the place. I'm not a hemophiliac, but I do have some hemophiliac tendencies when it comes to my blood. It will clot. It just doesn't clot as quickly as normal people's blood. So it was all down my arms, it was on the floor, it was on my shoes. And then in walks a teacher with one of my friends and the guidance counselor. I was quickly taken to the nurse to get bandages. Then I was whisked to the guidance counselor's office. It's like, we need to get the police involved. We're going to call your parents. You can't do this in a school setting. So, we calmly waited for me to stop bleeding. And while we're waiting for my arm to stop gushing blood, I am trying to talk my way out of going anywhere with a police officer. I didn't want my parents to be called. It's like, don't call my parents, they will kill me, they will finish the job. Oh my gosh, no. If I'm gonna die, do it on my terms, please. I talked to her for a solid hour, and I thought I had this in the bag. Like, we were having a normal conversation towards the end. I sat up, it's like, I need to go back to class now. I already missed a bit of it. And she's like, oh no. You're not going anywhere except to the hospital. And to the hospital I went in the back of a cop car. And because one of my brother-in-law is a cop, I understood every single code they were exchanging over the intercom. Long story short, I was a suicidal high-tendency risk and needed to be watched at all times. So, when we got to the hospital, they had a female police officer step into the room with me while I changed to the hospital gown. I had to take off the kitty ear clips I was wearing that my friend lent me and everything. It's like, oh no, I want to keep these forever. They're so amazing. But, I had to take off my Batman necklace, my Batman earrings, the kitty ear clips. Oh my gosh, that was a horrible day. And then my parents came to get me. My dad is like, oh, you're doing this to spite us. You're a disappointment. Suicide is selfish and cutting yourself is cowardly. You think your friends or parents are gonna let you hang out with them if they find out what you've done. And obviously I'm not allowed to cry, so I just bottled it up some more, and then that's what got me into this place and dismissed in the first place is I was just bottling up everything inside of me. So they took me to the hospital. I went home after we agreed to do an outpatient program, which was Meadows, where I met some friends, some of which I no longer have contact with because people grow apart. But yeah, that's the story about the time I rode in the back of a cop car. Sorry if it's not as climatic and as exciting as people wanted. The truth sometimes is boring. The truth is sometimes very sad. That's my story. That's how it happened. If I could change it, I most definitely would. But I can't change the past. I can only apply the past to the present and use it to improve my future. That's one of the reasons why I always make sure I close my videos with I appreciate each of your unique existences, because you shouldn't hate yourself. You shouldn't want to kill yourself. You're all important and I love you all. So, as always, I appreciate each of your unique existences. We're all mad here and it's a-okay. Have a wonderful day, night, or whichever time zone in which you reside, and bye. These nails are difficult.